Hey guys, welcome to Travel Feels. Today we're going to talk money, and more specifically, how to make some. Making films. There's always so much talk about struggling artists when we're talking about filmmakers, and I don't think it needs to be that way. I've been super fortunate over the last couple years of freelancing to be pretty successful financially while I've been making films. And I think what a lot of people are missing is that little bit of business sense and also just financial intelligence so that they could make money from filmmaking. I think this happens in a lot of different areas, but especially with artists. I think they're just so focused on what they're creating and doing that they don't realize what they're doing doesn't really make sense financially. In the coming months, I'm going to be making a course just on money and the business side of filmmaking. But today we're specifically going to be talking about how you can make money through filmmaking. So the traditional route to making money from filmmaking is you would, go to film school and then you would start working at a production agency. And production companies have so many different roles, everything from directors and producers, directors of photography, the guy behind the camera, we have lighting grip, we have camera assistants, we have production assistants who just do anything that needs to be done, like getting some coffee or going to grab the rental gear or whatever needs to be done. And so how it works is clients like, Nike, Coca-Cola, they're signed on to advertising agencies. And the ad agency will come up with an idea to promote that brand, and then they'll use production companies who actually produce the video in the end. And so these production companies hire people like me or freelancers to actually help them make those commercials or films or whatever that video is that they need to get done. And for production companies, how you get paid is usually by day rates. So depending on your role in the production, you get a certain amount of money per day. And so for me, I'm usually either the director of photography or a camera operator. And my day rate can range anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a day, depending on what kind of project it is and what my role is. So let's say that my day rate is $1,000 and the shoot goes for 3 days, then I'll get paid $3,000. Agencies are really great to work with, and what I've noticed is that if you're a hard worker and a good person to be around, then once you've gotten one job with them, you're probably gonna get called back for another later on. But it can be really hard to get into these agencies in the beginning, especially if you don't have a good portfolio or reel to show off the projects that you've been a part of, or you just don't have very much experience yet. But even somebody who doesn't have much experience can become something like a production assistant and slowly work your way up the ladder. And remember, not everybody is going to be a director or a DP. There's so many different roles, and you might actually like one of the roles that are further down in the chain instead of the director or DP, or one of those roles with more responsibility. But really, before you start looking at agencies, you need to have something to show for yourself. So there's a lot of different ways that you can make money without agencies. And I would say try as many of these as possible. Every project is different, and therefore you're gonna learn something new, you're gonna learn something different, and that's gonna make you a better filmmaker in the end. Learning is so crucial, so key, never stop learning. So the first way is weddings. The first gigs that I got paid for were weddings. Me and my brother started a wedding videography and photography company called Heart Visuals, and that was the first gig we did for money. And a lot of people look down on wedding filmmakers, but you can actually make a lot of money through weddings. Nowadays I shoot maybe 3 or 5 weddings a year, but I'm charging anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000 per wedding. And usually that's only about a week's worth of work, so that's a pretty good pay you're getting. So try out some weddings. Next is corporate films. There's tons of demand for these smaller to mid-range projects which don't have a big enough budget for an agency, but you with a small crew or just by yourself can handle and still make something pretty decent. A lot of corporate videos, they don't need to be that fancy or flashy. Sometimes they can be boring, but they actually pay pretty well. So I would definitely try some corporate gigs. And if you're just in the beginning stages of your filmmaking career, try and, think what kind of companies that are a little bit smaller around you that you know of that might need a video. You can just cold call them, email them, maybe know some people who run their own companies and ask them if they need any video work done. Maybe in the beginning you do one for free, but don't do work for free too much just to get yourself started, and then start charging even if it's a little bit right away, and then work your way up. But again, these are great learning experiences and you're gonna get paid, which we all need in the end. Another great way that I've found is passive income. There's tons of different ways that you can make passive income on the internet. For example, you can sell stock footage or stock photography. You can make teaching courses, YouTube, affiliate programs. All these things can make you a little bit of money, but it all adds up and helps you to make money as a filmmaker. Last year alone, I made about $45,000 through passive income. So it's definitely worth trying and giving it a chance. So I think the lesson here is to not limit yourself to one type of video or film. I think this is one of the reasons filmmakers a lot of times struggle with making money. They kind of just say that I'm only gonna do music videos, for example. But that's a really hard way to make a decent income, even if you're really good at making music videos. It's better to have a whole bunch of different income sources, so that way if you're not getting music videos for a while, well then you have some corporate gigs or a wedding or some passive income that all add up and give you an okay income for that month. So you're never just relying on one area to make all your money. I think that's a really risky way of going about things, and you're probably not gonna make as much money. And yeah, of course, we all wanna be making whatever we're most passionate about, but that's not the real world. Sometimes we're gonna have to do projects that we're not that interested in, but it'll make you some money, and maybe it'll allow you to do a personal project or do a project that you really wanna do for a little bit less money than you normally would. Never think that a project is beneath you. Until you're getting projects offered to you left, right, and center, just take anything and everything. And as long as you have a good attitude about it, that you're learning and making an income, then you're gonna succeed financially as a filmmaker. So these are some of the ways that I've been able to make a healthy income, and I think most filmmakers make money through these channels. Of course, there are other ways, and the more revenue streams you can have, the better and the safer and more consistent your monthly income will be. So work hard and know your worth, don't undercharge, and keep thinking of different ways that you could make money through filmmaking. That's it for me today. I hope you learned something, and if you have a question about any of this, leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer some of those questions. Enjoy the filmmaking process and have fun on your travels. And for all of you who don't know, this is what Canadian money looks like. It's water and rip proof. And yes, that is the Queen.